So let's just go ahead and focus on this reading here. So what brought you two together, honestly, was seeing the potential for great happiness, right? Obviously, becoming more inspired to live the dream that you've always wanted to live, right? And it's really inspiring too, because the star shows potential, shows hope. I think you guys both brought hope into your relationship during a time of devastation, because the Ten of Swords is what is obviously, the card of devastation, right? It's a unfortunate ending to a situation, but those endings always makes us stronger, especially the Ten of Swords. Now, as devastating and painful as the Ten of Swords may have been, whether that was being betrayed by someone that you were loved previously, this could be, you just something ending in a really gruesome and a hurtful way. You guys are having I think you guys are connected because you do realize the potential that you guys have when you're both focused on a goal. But the problem that lies now is the challenge is the Ten of Swords is overcoming overcoming the end, and overcoming the things that happened in the past, the things that were, definitely painful and that could have been soul destroying, and recovering from those, right? Because the Ten of Swords, it's so brutal, but it doesn't mean it's impossible to overcome. It's just difficult, and now it's about moving past that to have the star become a reality, to really go for your dreams, to actually live by the faith and the hope that you have in this relationship. Now, we're going to look at the top two cards here. And now this side, Scorpio, I typically read as you guys, and the other side is your soulmate. Feel free to switch the sides if it don't resonate with you. But Scorpio, you're coming off thinking like the Queen of Cups for this relationship. You are in love with this relationship. Now, of course, there also are some secrets. I do feel like you guys are kind of holding some stuff back. Not trying to, be horrible or secretive or anything like that. There's none of that stuff. But you're holding back. I think some of you guys are probably biting back your feelings a little bit. You know how you feel. You know exactly who this cup truly belongs to. But letting them know that is a little bit of like a security measure for yourself. Because you don't want to put yourself in a situation where your heart is out there and this person knows it. That obviously opens the door to betrayal. But this is not the same situation, because how you guys met was the start. It's a new beginning, starting over, starting fresh. But the ending of the situation, it was so devastating. Of course, it still maintains its, some sort of effect to that. Now, I do see love. You do love this person greatly, deeply, and I think you are connected to this person emotionally. Like, you guys have the Three of Cups here. Excuse me, the Two of Cups rather, and I really feel like you guys are both really connected. You guys have a really strong connection towards one another. I wouldn't say profound because it's not the lovers, but it's significant in its sense of great measure. Like, it's very significant in regards to how you feel towards each other. As a matter of fact, you guys are very much similar to one another. But you guys, I don't think you guys are expressing this too much. You're just living it, if that makes sense. You're not saying it, but you're committed to the person. You aren't communicating it, but you're definitely committed to the person. You're willing to work with this person. This person is yours. Because how you guys are being seen, because this is the card that shows us how people see you and how you view yourself. So the King of Pentacles is already showing that you're committed. You're full in. You're all the way in. You're dedicated. You're working towards building something stable with this person. You are in a relationship. You are connected to this person, and you're unshakable with this. Now, the other person and how they're thinking of the relationship is justice. Now, I think there's some things, of course, this person does have to personally get over, personally has to heal, personally have to forgive, and to set themselves free. Because right now they've got of course, the challenge is their biggest hang-up. The challenge is their biggest hang-up. Now, the King of Pentacles can be the same way too, but I don't feel that way because of the Wedding card and the Sun. Right? The potential for great happiness has been seen by this person. Therefore, I feel like the King of Pentacles is putting work, effort, and time to build something of great value. Like that's what the King of Pentacles does. However, this person here is learning to, accept the situation for what, accept whatever this ending was, and know that the future, it does not have to reflect this, if that makes sense. The only reflection that this person may want would be to overcome this situation and never have to go through it again, right? But the worst is over, and this person still has some forgiving to do, some releasing to do, some amending to do, right? Taking accountability for their actions, letting that person, accepting the situation for how it has been. Because there's some things that they're offset here. And even though this card can indicate unity and marriage, which I do feel like this person may be finding that they're very, they feel like they're in a union with you, they are still stuck in their thoughts, and that's how they're being perceived. That's how the world sees them, and that's how, that's how they are being, that's how they see themselves. They feel trapped in their thoughts. And I feel like it has to do with the Ten of Swords. What happened there with that ending? That devastation has locked them in place, it feels like, and they're still, it looks like they're still wrestling with the with forgiveness. Because if you look, the Ace of Swords is in your underlying energy, guys. That means there's a new perspective coming in, a new way of thinking, a new way of, a new way of thinking, new ideas. It's clarity through the truth, though. And even though this was devastating, it brought things to clarity, to absolute clarity. It's unmistakable how clear this is. Okay? It's unmistakable. Something was put to death. Something was brutally ended. But there was something also that was taken from that nothing means forever. Nothing is forever. But it's something that definitely can be everlasting. It can last for a long time. But it's depending on how you view it. Right? How you see it. This person ain't seeing it right now. This person is stuck in their thoughts. They're thinking, they have this hang up right now about for how they can move on, how they can forgive the person. So they're trapped in this past energy of the devastating ending here that they've been through, and they're not letting themselves recover because I feel like they're afraid to take that step that could potentially get them hurt again. But they have to understand this is done. And in order for this to truly be done, they have to forgive it and let it go. So they can truly connect. And it's so crazy, right? Because the reason why this person is even acting this way is because they feel so much for this person. They do feel the same way this person does. Love, pure love. They want to commit. They want to show their loyalty. But the thing that they don't have in common is that they don't see a future. Not because it's like they don't see it as possible, but they don't see the future because they're looking back still. They're not looking at anything, as a matter of fact. They're stuck in time. Their mind is stuck in time. And instead of looking for clarity of the situation, which is the relationship being there and available and able to prosper in wonderful ways, they're still thinking of what needs to be taking place, what needs to be right, what needs to be right and excuse me, not right. That's not a word. What needs to be corrected. What needs to be corrected. And it's like you're not going to get that kind of correction if you don't find it in your heart of hearts to forgive and allow things to, allow yourself to be free. Because you're not letting yourself be free right now because this situation is not, because, you find it injustice. It's a hard one. It's a really hard one. But this person has hope and so much greatness that can happen in this relationship. But this person's having a hard time letting go of what this was. So that said, let's go ahead and take a look at your Messenger Oracle. See what you guys get for this week. Protect the wild and the green. It's pretty straightforward. You know, you are everything that you manifest, right? We are an extension of our manifestations. So we have to treat ourselves the way we would treat our future. We have to treat ourselves the way we would nurture our children. We have to protect the world the way we need to protect ourselves, but not in a way that completely keeps us from growing a beautiful ass garden. Right? Because this is about remembering that you are an extension of yourself. Everything is an extension of you. If you, like this person here, is locked up in a cage right now, locked up in their own mental cage at this moment because something either they've been wronged or they've wronged someone else, and they can't get out of it. Right? They're having a hard time getting out of it. It's not impossible, they're just having a hard time. But this is also stunting growth. Sure, like everything happens for a reason. Everything happens because when it's necessary. Stunting growth is what it is. It doesn't mean it's a bad thing. Maybe there's some things that need to be resurfaced and glossed over, or not glossed over, but to really be retouched upon, right? To really make a solid foundation. There's always a reason for it. There's always for our highest interest. But it's stunting growth at this moment. And until there can be growth, until there can be prosperity, until there can be manifestation actually taking effect here, this person has got to allow this situation to flow. They have got to allow the situation to flow. And how they do that is by forgiving the past for what has happened. Not to condone the action, like I always say, y'all. It's never to condone the action, but it's always to set yourself free. Because you deserve more than what happened here. Settling with this, having grudges, keeping on to things. And I don't want to say it's a grudge. I think it's just injustice, and it's hard to overcome that sort of injustice. You don't really see how you can move forward from that. But getting stuck in that kind of energy, it's like saying that this is all you ever want. Because it's always going to be here the longer you hold on to it. But it's about letting it go, taking the risk, and, excuse me, without really seeing the future, know that you're going towards what your heart wants, ultimately. It's hard, man. It's not easy. But it's got to start somewhere. So, protect the wild and green. You are a guardian of the earth and all who share it. The trees, the animals, the birds, insects, and inhabitants of the great ocean blue. It is time to play an active role in protecting and preserving the wild and the green by being aware of and limiting your impact upon the natural world. This world is not yours to possess. It is a gift given to you and your children. Tread gently, tread with care, and walk with love. Remember, your relationship with the world is a symbiotic one. It's a big message. It's hard. The Ten of Swords is not an easy energy to overcome and to forgive and to whatever. But the second you start making those steps toward it, the more free and the more possibilities open up for you. Not just you, whoever this person is on this side here. And I think too, it does help that you guys are in a good place at this moment, in love, committed, ready to go, manifesting your heart's desire, making it a reality. Because whatever this situation was, it provided you the clarity that you needed. It provided you exactly what you needed to kickstart your next journey, starting over. But this person, they just gotta forgive and understand that they've got more power, more than ever than before. Okay, they got more power than they realize, and it's not in this situation. It's surpassed this situation.